Hello guys, this is Real Recaps. In this video, I will talk about a 2024 American comedy horror film, Killer Body Count. Before we start, I hope you will like and subscribe to the channel. In the depths of a shadowy forest, a pair of teenagers are becoming intimate. However, the moment takes an awkward turn when the boy finishes prematurely, leaving the girl dissatisfied and visibly uncomfortable. She expresses how strange the experience felt, clearly annoyed, and decides to step outside to adjust the tent. Before she can, strange rustling noises echo from the woods, causing her to rush back inside. She attempts to talk to the boy, but their conversation is abruptly cut short when a masked figure suddenly impales the boy's hand through the tent. The boy screams, and the masked assailant viciously stabs him multiple times, leaving him lifeless. The girl, overwhelmed with terror, manages to escape into the darkness, running as fast as she can. Unfortunately, the relentless killer quickly catches up, pinning her to the ground as her scream echoes through the forest. Elsewhere, a quiet church hosts a solemn mass. Among the congregation is a girl named Cami, who catches the attention of a nearby boy. Their brief exchange of suggestive gestures draws the disapproving stares of the churchgoers, leaving Cami embarrassed. As the service concludes, the church empties, but Cami remains behind to stack chairs as punishment. While working, the boy reappears, and their interactions suggest they've shared intimate moments in the past. Their tension escalates into a playful argument about physical satisfaction, with Cami teasingly offering to entertain him while he handles himself. The boy quickly reaches his peak, earning a baffled reaction from Cami. Their encounter is cut short when a church staff member discovers them. Later, Cami's disappointed father meets with the head priest to discuss her behavior. He attributes her rebelliousness to the loss of her mother. Concerned, the priest suggests sending Cami to the Beautiful Savior Treatment Center, a secluded facility aimed at rehabilitating teenagers with promiscuous tendencies. Despite Cami's protests, her father agrees to the plan. The drive to the treatment center is tense, with her father maintaining a stoic silence while Cami looks anxious. When they arrive, the camp's remote location amplifies her unease. They're greeted by the camp's managers, siblings Tani and Eugene, who run the program. Placing their hands on Cami, they recite a prayer before beginning a tour of the camp. The siblings explain the program, which separates boys and girls during most activities but occasionally brings them together to teach restraint and discipline in resisting physical temptations. During the tour, a good-looking guy catches Cami's attention. She finds him attractive, and Eugene introduces him as Daniel, who is late for church after leaving his Bible in his room. Daniel requests a campfire night, and while the siblings agree, Cami can't take her eyes off him. Tani later shows Cami her room and says she'll get along well with her roommate. When Cami asks for the Wi-Fi password, Tani confiscates her phone, explaining that it's not allowed. After her father leaves, Cami breaks down in tears. Meanwhile, a group of boys attempts to spy on the girls through a pipe in the wall, discussing their exploits before being interrupted by Eugene's presence. Cami begins mingling with the other girls during her first Bible reading session but ends up in an argument with Tani after joking about a recent intense encounter. Annoyed, Tani punishes the group by sending them to the chapel to pray. While there, one of the girls, Ali, shares a chilling tale about the camp's history. Ali recounts the story of a 17-year-old priest who once lived at the camp. The priest allegedly went mad, believing the residents were engaging in sinful activities instead of praying. In his rage, he massacred everyone before disappearing into the surrounding woods. Though the group dismisses the tale as a mere camp legend, the eerie atmosphere lingers. Soon, Eugene arrives telling them to leave since it's boy prayer time. That night, Cami bonds with her roommate, Wyatt, and they sneak out of their dorm to break some rules. Searching for their confiscated phones, they stumble upon Tani and Eugene having their Alabama session. Horrified, they flee and later witness another boy and girl in the woods. Wyatt runs off, but Cami stays to observe. The girl, Mia, storms off after expressing frustration with the boy, Rob, for failing to satisfy her. Rustling noises startle Rob, and he turns to see a masked figure. Initially mistaking it for his friend Chris, Rob is caught off guard when the figure slashes his abdomen. Cami screams, drawing the killer's attention. Fleeing back to her dorm, Cami narrowly escapes and shuts the door. She tells Ali what she witnessed, but when Ali opens the door, only Eugene is there, resulting in an accidental punch to his face. Cami recounts her story to Eugene and Tani, but they dismiss her claims. Seeking validation, Cami approaches Mia, who denies being out that night. Frustrated, Cami insists on showing them the scene of the incident, but they find no evidence, prompting Tani and Eugene to urge her to rest. Wyatt later apologizes for not warning Cami about the camp's darker secrets. She offers to guide her around the camp, and they cuddle as a source of comfort after the terrifying events. The next morning, Cami notices Wyatt is missing. The other girls inform her that Wyatt is with Tani but change the subject to ask Rob's sausage. Cami deflects, suggesting they ask Mia instead. Mia eventually apologizes for lying but admits her dissatisfaction with Rob, which aligns with Cami's suspicions. Ali confesses that her story about the murderous priest was fabricated, claiming there's no devilish killer lurking in the woods. Cami, however, remains firm in her belief. As the girls discuss why Mia wasn't targeted, Mia theorizes that the killer might only attack those who achieve satisfaction, indirectly admitting her disappointment with Rob. The group, intrigued, shifts focus to show Cami a peephole in the boys' shower area, sparking her curiosity. Inside the boys' bathroom, a group of teenagers discusses Cami, focusing on her appearance. Daniel, however, expresses that he values personality and intellect more than physical traits. The conversation shifts to Rob's whereabouts, and Daniel speculates that Rob might have been caught sneaking out and is now facing punishment from Eugene. Determined to find him, Daniel leaves the bathroom. When Cami takes another peep, Eugene unexpectedly appears, scaring them away. During the commotion, Cami is separated from the group but is soon found by Wyatt, who leads her to safety. Wyatt takes Cami on a tour of the camp's outskirts, sparking hope in her when she notices a fence. However, as Cami impulsively approaches the fence to climb it, Wyatt stops her and demonstrates its danger by tossing a stick at it, causing an electric shock. Wyatt explains that she had previously been zapped by the fence while searching for a way out. Afterward, Wyatt guides Cami to a secluded storage building, revealing that she stumbled upon it while looking for the fence's power source. Unfortunately, she couldn't locate the source or find any means of communication, such as a phone. Their conversation is interrupted by movement outside. Grabbing a figurine for protection, Cami hurls it at the intruder, only to realize it's Daniel. Apologies are exchanged, and shortly after, Chris and Toby join them. Cami urgently warns the group about the killer and Rob's death, but they remain skeptical. Insisting on the need to escape and seek help, Cami proposes a plan to distract Tani and Eugene to retrieve their confiscated phones from the siblings' cabin. However, Tani catches the group together and demands to know who discovered the storage building. When no one confesses, Tani resorts to punishing them. She painfully presses Wyatt's injured hand, attempting to force a confession, but Cami steps in and takes the blame for everyone. As punishment, Cami is made to kneel on sharp stones while the others are tasked with cleaning the chapel. Tani warns Cami not to move or the others will share her punishment. Though Eugene appears uncomfortable with the harsh discipline, he complies with Tani's instructions. While cleaning the chapel, Eugene leaves to use the restroom, telling the group to return to their rooms afterward. Wyatt is visibly upset about Cami's suffering and expresses her frustration to the boys. When the boys ask about the plan, Wyatt tells them they'll follow through it. Wyatt and Chris leave while Toby decides to stay behind in the confession booth, where he uses an explicit magazine to play with his sausage. After finishing, he hears footsteps and assumes it's Chris. However, as he calls out, a figure in a devil mask suddenly appears and impales him through the booth. Despite his screams, the killer strikes again, fatally wounding him. Elsewhere, Cami suffers from hallucinations brought on by her physical pain and exhaustion. She envisions her late mother, who appears with bleeding wrists, a haunting reminder of how she took her own life. Overcome with emotion, Cami mistakenly pleads for forgiveness from Tani, believing her to be her mother. Meanwhile, Chris encounters Ali, who pulls him into a locker room. Their encounter grows intimate despite the masked killer lurking nearby. Ali voices her frustration about their one-sided dynamic. She then reveals her taco for him to eat it. She reaches her satisfaction and is about to leave, but Chris wonders if she's going to caress his sausage, but she declines. When she leaves, Chris becomes the killer's next victim, brutally attacked with a dumbbell. The following morning, Cami wakes with her knees badly injured. After tending to her wounds, She steps out and spots Daniel performing yoga shirtless, leaving her flustered. Her daydream quickly shifts to imagining Wyatt in Daniel's place, prompting her to snap back to reality and walk away. While exploring the gym, Cami stumbles upon Chris's mangled body and screams in terror. Her cries summon everyone to the scene. Tani and Eugene dismiss the group's plea to call the police, insisting that Chris is now with God. Frustrated, the teens decide to take action themselves, devising a plan to steal Eugene's keys and access the siblings' cabin. Cami and Daniel successfully sneak into the cabin, only to discover that all the confiscated phones have been burned in the furnace. As they search further, they are forced to hide when Tani and Eugene return. The siblings talk amongst themselves before it leads them going to Alabama once again. Cami and Daniel get traumatized by what happened, quickly returning to the lobby after the siblings leave. When the teens regroup, they are ushered to dinner, where Bree is mysteriously poisoned and dies. Chaos ensues as the group attacks Tani and Eugene, incapacitating them before fleeing to the camp's gate. Unable to unlock it, panic sets in. The killer emerges from the shadows, killing Mia and scattering the group. Daniel is impaled during the chaos, while Allie's whereabouts remain unknown. Cami and Wyatt seek refuge in the storage building, where they share a heartfelt conversation that leads to intimacy. Their moment is interrupted by the killer, who forces Wyatt to push Cami into a hidden wall. Behind it, she discovers a secret control room filled with CCTV footage and the camp's power controls. To her shock, the footage includes videos of parents consenting to send their children to the camp. Determined to find Allie, Cami ventures into the woods, only to stumble upon a sinister cult ceremony. She discovers Eugene and Allie restrained on a bench and is horrified when she unmasks one of the devils and sees her father. He strikes her, revealing he did this because he doesn't want Cami to be in hell like her mother. Tani and another devil explain that the camp is a test for teenagers to resist temptation, and those who fail must be eliminated. The devil suddenly slit Tawny's throat, with the devil declaring her unfit due to her sins with Eugene. The devil goes after Cami, who unmasks him, revealing that he is the priest from the church. The priest hands the blade to Cami's father, urging him to cleanse her by ending her life. Overwhelmed with guilt, her father instead takes his own life. The priest attempts to finish the job himself. However, Wyatt intervenes, saving Cami. Together, they set the priest on fire and burn him alive. Cami, Wyatt, Allie, and Eugene manage to flee into the woods, rescuing a girl from the first scene just in time before she is stabbed by another devil. The end. Thanks for watching.